Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Real English Talk. We are so happy to have you here in our education family today. I'm Anna.
And I'm James. Today is going to be exceptional. We aren't just talking about grammar, we are giving you the golden keys to the language.
Golden keys. I love that, James. These are the basic sentences that you will use every single day. If you know these, you can survive anywhere.
It's true. Whether you are at a hotel, a market, or just meeting a new friend, these sentences are your best friends.
Many students try to learn thousands of words, but they don't know how to connect them. Today, we fix that.
Exactly. We're building foundations. So, Anna, what is our first must-know sentence?
It's the king of all sentences. How are you doing today?
Simple, but powerful. It's not just, how are you? Adding today makes it feel warm and real.
Precisely. It shows you actually care about the person right now.
Let's practice that one. Listen to the flow. How are you doing today?
It lends a hand to your rhythm. Now, James, what if someone says that to us? What's the basic reply?
Most people say, I'm fine, but real talk is better. I'm doing great, thank you. How about you?
Haha, how about you? That is the secret to keeping a conversation alive.
It truly is. It's like a tennis match. You have to hit the ball back.
Love that. Now let's move to a functional sentence. This one is for help.
Oh, vital. Could you help me with something, please?
Notice how James said, could you? It's more polite than can you. It makes people want to help you.
Exactly. Politeness is the oil that makes social gears turn smoothly.
Beautifully put. Now, James, what if you are lost or looking for a place?
Do you know where the place is? You can put anything in those brackets. The restroom, the station, the coffee shop.
James, do people still ask for directions now that we have phones?
Actually, yes, because sometimes the phone is wrong or the battery is dead.
True, and it's a great way to practice your English with a local.
Exactly. It's a real-life classroom.
Okay, here is a very important one for students. What does this word mean?
I love that sentence. It shows you're curious. It shows you're a learner.
Indeed. Never be ashamed to ask that. Even native speakers ask that all the time.
Truly, language is growing so fast. We all have to ask sometimes.
Precisely. Now let's look at agreeing with people. I think so too.
I think so too. It's stronger than just saying yes. It builds a connection.
It shows you're thinking. It lends a hand to the energy of the room.
And what about disagreeing, Anna? Politely, of course.
I'm not so sure about that. It's soft but clear.
Oh, that's perfect. It's respectful. Real talk isn't about fighting, it's about sharing different views.
Exactly. Now, James, let's recap these first 6 keys.
All right, family, get your voices ready. Repeat with us.
Number 1, how are you doing today?
Number 2, I'm doing great, thank you.
Number 3, could you help me with something, please?
Number 4, do you know where the place is?
Number 5, what does this word mean?
And number 6, I think so too.
Excellent job. I can feel your confidence growing through the microphone.
They truly sound exceptional, don't they?
They do. Now let's dive into shopping sentences. How much is this?
Classic. And don't forget to add please at the end. How much is this, please?
Exactly. And what if you want to try something on?
Can I try this on? Very vital if you are at a clothing store.
Indeed. It's simple, but it gives you control over your shopping.
All right, Anna, let's move to our next big category.
Oh, I love our next category, James. It's eating out. There is nothing more exciting than ordering food in a new language.
Haha, especially if the food is delicious, but it can be scary when the waiter is waiting for you to speak.
True. So let's start with the arrival. A table for two, please.
A table for two, please. Notice how direct it is. You don't need a long story, just the number and the please.
Exactly. It lends a hand to the hostess so they can sit you quickly.
And once you are sitting down, Anna, what if you don't see a menu?
Could we have the menu, please? Again, could we have is soft and polite.
Perfect. Now here is my favorite sentence for restaurants. What do you recommend?
Oh, that's a secret weapon. It invites the waiter to help you find the best dish.
Indeed. Most waiters are enthusiastic about sharing their favorite food with you.
It truly makes the dining experience more personal and real.
Now, what if you have an allergy or don't like something?
You should say, does this contain ingredient? Like, does this contain nuts or does this contain milk?
Very vital. Education in English is safety too. You must be able to communicate your needs clearly.
Exactly. And when you're finished, James, what is the magic sentence?
Can we have the bill, please? Or in the US, they often say, the check. Could we have the check, please?
Good point. Bill or check. Both will lend a hand to get you home.
Exactly. Now, Anna, let's move from the restaurant to the coffee shop.
A coffee shop is the perfect place for short conversations. I'd like a large latte, please.
I'd like. That's a contraction for I would like. It sounds natural and fluent.
Truly. And if you want it to go, you just say, to go, please.
Wait, Anna, what if they ask you for here or to go?
Good question. If you want to stay, just say, for here, please.
It's a small choice, but it gives you certainty in the moment.
So true. To our wonderful listeners, try to imagine yourself in a coffee shop right now.
Yes, smell the coffee beans. Hear the steam from the machine. Now, speak your order.
This is the best way to practice. Visualization lends a hand to your memory.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about time and meetings. What time do we meet?
What time do we meet? This is vital for friendships and work.
And if you're running late, Anna, which sentence saves you?
I'm sorry, I'm running a bit late. It's polite and it informs the other person.
Adding a bit makes it sound less serious. It shows you're close but not quite there.
Haha, exactly. It softens the wait for your friend.
Now, what if you don't understand what someone said?
Could you say that again more slowly? This is the most powerful sentence for English learners.
Oh, 100%. Never pretend you understand when you don't. It's better to ask than to be confused.
Truly, most people are happy to slow down for you. They want you to succeed.
Real English talk is about connecting. Asking for help is a connection.
Absolutely. Now, let's recap this social section.
All right, recap time. A table for two, please.
What do you recommend?
Can we have the bill, please?
I'd like a large latte, please.
I'm sorry, I'm running a bit late.
And could you say that again more slowly?
Wow, you are doing an exceptional job. These sentences are starting to sound natural for you.
Haha, they truly are. Every time you speak, your future gets brighter.
Indeed. Now, Anna, let's talk about common expressions for weather.
Weather, the classic British and American small talk.
Exactly. Let's dive into that in our next section.
It's so funny, James, but it's true. If you don't know what to say to a stranger, just talk about the weather.
It's the universal icebreaker. You can just say, "It's a beautiful day, isn't it?"
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? That "isn't it" at the end is a question tag. It's like inviting the other person to agree with you.
Exactly. It lends a hand to start a friendly connection without any stress.
But what if the weather is bad, James? What if it's pouring rain?
Then you say, "Looks like rain, doesn't it?" It's the same pattern. You are sharing a moment with the person next to you.
I love that. Now, let's move into introductions. This is where real friendships start.
Nice to meet you. It's simple, but you must say it with a smile in your voice.
Nice to meet you. And if you want to be extra friendly, you can say, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
Oh, very classy. That sounds exceptional for a work meeting or a special event.
Indeed. And then, of course, the follow-up question, what do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living? That's a natural way to ask about someone's job.
Exactly. It sounds better than just saying, "What is your job?" It's more conversational.
And if they ask us, Anna, we say, I'm a content creator, or I'm a teacher.
Precisely. Now, James, let's talk about daily routines. What are your plans for the weekend?
What are your plans for the weekend? Everyone loves this question because it means free time is coming.
So true. It's a great way to learn about a person's hobbies.
If they say, I'm going to the cinema, you can hit the ball back and ask, oh, what movie are you seeing?
You're developing your conversation skills right there. It's like a dance.
It is. Now, what about health or feeling better? If a friend looks tired, what do we ask?
We can say, "Are you feeling okay?" It shows empathy.
Are you feeling okay? It's a kind way to check on someone you care about.
And if they say, "I have a headache," you can say, "I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon."
I hope you feel better soon. That is a standard and beautiful phrase of support.
Truly. Now, let's talk about common problems, like losing your keys or your phone.
That happens to me all the time. You can say, have you seen my item anywhere?
Have you seen my phone anywhere? It's a life-saving sentence.
And if the other person lends a hand and finds it, what do we say?
Thank you so much. You're a lifesaver.
A lifesaver. That's a great idiom for real talk English.
It truly is. It makes the thank you feel more powerful.
Now, what about opinions? What do you think about this?
What do you think about the new office? Or what do you think about the movie? It opens a door for a deep conversation.
Exactly. And a good way to answer is, in my opinion, it's quite interesting.
In my opinion, that sounds thoughtful and respectful.
Indeed, it shows you respect that other opinions might exist.
Truly. Now, James, let's talk about time again, but asking for the time.
Do you have the time, please? It's quicker than, what time is it? And very natural in the street.
Exactly. And if you are busy, you can say, "I'm sorry, I don't have my watch on me."
On me. That means you don't have it with you right now. Another great piece of real talk.
Now, let's recap these street and friend sentences.
Ready. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Nice to meet you.
What do you do for a living?
What are your plans for the weekend?
Are you feeling okay?
I hope you feel better soon.
Have you seen my anywhere?
What do you think about this?
And do you have the time, please?
Look at you. You are collecting so many golden keys.
Their key ring is getting heavy, Anna.
Good, because each key opens a new world.
Indeed. Now let's talk about emergency or urgent situations. I need help, please.
I need help, please. It's short and clear. In an emergency, you don't want long sentences.
Exactly. Or call an ambulance. Or I lost my passport.
Those are scary moments, but knowing the words lends a hand to stay calm.
It does. Confidence comes from preparation.
Truly. Now let's end on a happy and positive note.
Yes, let's talk about compliments and gratitude.
Absolutely agree, James. Compliments are like sunshine for a conversation, and one of the best sentences you can ever use is, "You did a great job on that project."
Oh, I love that one. It's so specific and kind. When you tell someone they did a great job, you aren't just speaking English, you are building their confidence and happiness.
Precisely. And for our wonderful listeners, don't be shy about giving compliments. It lends a hand to make the world a better place, and it's a great way to practice your positive vocabulary.
Indeed. And another classic compliment is, I really like your style. You can say this about someone's clothes, their hair, or even the way they handle a difficult situation at work.
Style is everything, James. It's a flexible word that shows you notice the small details about a person, and people always appreciate being noticed.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about gratitude for a moment. Beyond a simple thank you, you can say, I really appreciate your help with this.
I really appreciate your help. That sentence has so much weight and meaning. It tells the other person that their effort was valuable to you, and it strengthens your connection instantly.
Exactly. It's much more than just a reaction. It's a recognition of their kindness. Real talk is about recognizing the humans around us every single day.
Beautifully said, James. Now, let's address a common situation when you want to invite someone to do something with you. Would you like to join us for dinner?
Oh, the invitation. This is the doorway to new friendships. Using "would you like to join us" is warm, open, and very polite. It makes the other person feel welcome.
It does. And even if they say no, the fact that you asked is what matters. It shows that you are open to connecting and building a community together.
Indeed. Now, what if we're the ones being asked, Anna? If we can't go, how do we say no without sounding rude?
You can say, I'd love to, but I have other plans today. This is perfect because it starts with a positive and explains why you can't join without giving too many details.
Perfectly balanced. It's honest and kind. Real English talk isn't about making excuses. It's about managing your time with respect for everyone.
Precisely. Now let's talk about future plans. Let's keep in touch. This is the standard way to end a great conversation with someone you just met.
Let's keep in touch. It leaves the door open for more adventures. It signals that you enjoyed the time together and want to see them again.
It truly does. It's a sentence full of hope and friendship. And speaking of ending things, James, we should recap these final keys for our family.
I'm ready. Let's do this. Family, focus on the flow and the emotion in these sentences.
First, you did a great job on that project. Second, I really like your style.
Third, I really appreciate your help with this. Fourth, would you like to join us for dinner?
Fifth, I'd love to, but I have other plans today. And sixth, let's keep in touch.
Wow, just wow. If you practice these sentences every single day, you will notice a massive change in how comfortable you feel speaking English.
It's true. Language is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger and faster it becomes.
Indeed. And don't worry if you forget a word or two along the way. Mistakes are just stepping stones on your path to success.
Exactly. We are so proud of each and every one of you for showing up today and investing in your future.
We really are. Real English Talk is more than just a channel. It's a support system for your big dreams.
Absolutely. Now, before we say goodbye, I want to challenge you to use one of these sentences in real life today.
A great challenge. Whether you write it in a comment or say it to a friend, take that step towards fluency.
You can do it. We believe in you with all our hearts.
Truly, thank you for spending your precious time with us today.
It was a pleasure to explore these golden keys with everyone.
Remember, your voice matters. Use it to speak, to connect, and to grow.
Indeed. Until next time, keep practicing and keep smiling.
We will see you soon in our next video with more real talk.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
Goodbye, everyone. You are amazing.
Bye-bye. Keep shining.
Bye. See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.